case you missed it, this week on the It's a Wonderful podcast feed. On Monday, we had a brand new episode of Janine Hasn't Seen TV diving into Doctor Who. We continued talking Series 2 with an epic two-parter, talking Episode 5, The Rise of the Cybermen, and Episode 6, The Age of Steel. We get into Rose's struggle to accept the loss of her father, the lore of the Cybermen in the world of Doctor Who, Mickey's big decision, and more. So do go check out this week's episode of Janine Hasn't Seen TV diving into Doctor Who, which at the moment is alternating every Monday with Morgan Hasn't Seen TV investigating it. Welcome to Derry. And find new episodes of Morgan/Janine Hasn't Seen TV every Monday on the It's a Wonderful Podcast YouTube channel and podcast feed. Then on Wednesday, we had a brand new episode of Morgan Hasn't Seen, where we kicked off our April series talking actors' directorial debuts, with Robert Redford's foray into directing with 1980s Ordinary People. We get into the film's depiction of different interpretations of grief, its performances including an against-type performance from Mary Tyler Moore, its depiction of therapy, and so much more. So do go check out this week's episode of Morgan Hasn't Seen Talking Ordinary People, and find new episodes of Morgan Hasn't Seen every Wednesday on the It's a Wonderful podcast feed. And then on Friday, we closed out the week with a brand new episode of our Classic Films podcast, It's a Wonderful Podcast, where we kicked off our April series there, talking Greta Garbo films. And we started that series with an 100-year-old film, 1926's Flesh and the Devil. We get into the subtle performances in this silent film, Garbo's star quality, its very dramatic plot, and more. So do go check out this week's episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast talking Flesh and the Devil, and find new episodes of It's a Wonderful Podcast every Friday on the It's a Wonderful Podcast feed. Coming up next week, on Monday we'll have a brand new episode of Morgan Hasn't Seen TV, investigating It, Welcome to Derry, where we're talking Episode 3, Now You See It, and Episode 4, The Great Swirling Apparatus of Our Planet's Function. Then on Wednesday, we'll have a brand new episode of Morgan Hasn't Seen, continuing our directorial debut series with Paul Newman's directorial debut, Rachel. And on Friday, we'll be continuing our Greta Garbo series on our Classic Films podcast, It's a Wonderful Podcast, as we talk 1935's Anna Karenina. And we will hopefully this week also get out our bonus podcast episode, where we're sharing all of your answers to our March podcast questions. Of course, do keep a lookout for our podcast questions every week, which you can find on our socials. And I hope you'll check out everything we had going on this week, and we'll see you next week for more.